Hi friends, welcome to Tutor Funny channel. Today I am going to teach MEVN full stack development app. It stands for Mongodb, Express, Vue.js and Nodejs. How to make this app step by step we'll teach. Before that I'll show the demo first. So this is the demo. Okay. So this is the database I have connected with Mongodb. So I'm going to add the new record. So I'm going to add the new record as an India mobile number. I'm going to type mobile number, click save button, record save. You can see the newly created record will be displayed below on the table. If you want to edit the record, click edit button. Record has been passed into the form. If you click this record here, you can see here what is the record you have to edit. You can click the row. Each row has a edit bar. You can click which row you need to be edit. Okay. So if you want to make the changes over here, I'm going to make the changes over here. I'm going to change it as last UK. Click. At this time, record has been updated. You can see here. It's a way of two-way binding. If you change anything else, it will be here. You can see if you are changing here. You can see notice that here it will be changed. This is the way two-way binding. Right? If you updated, the record has been updated. If you want to delete the record, click the delete button. Here, that particular row has been deleted. How to do this full stack development step by step we'll teach. You just type on the Google Node.js. You go to the respective website. Here where you can download the Node.js. Right? No, download and you have to install your machine. After install it, you have to download the Mongodb. Right? Mongodb download. Here go and download here, right? Mongodb, right? Here go and type here, try for free. You have to download it and install your machine, right? You have to fill the form and you can download it. You can register and after that you can download it, right? After that you have to install the Mongodb Compass as well, right? Now then you will be able to get this Mongodb Compass. This is the Mongodb Compass. You will be able to get it. That you have to open them, right? So it will be open up, right? The first you have to install the Node.js. After install them, you can get the MongoDB Compass. Here where you have now you have to create the database, right? So here this is a server default you have created. You can see here localhost. This is a server, right? So you have click connect. Your database has been connected, right? Your database has been connected, right? So here, if you want to create the new database, you click on the plus symbol. Okay, this one should be the database name here collection. In MongoDB, this is a no SQL. No SQL means this is not a structure, right? This is a no SQL, right? This is not a relational database, right? So here you can see here database I'm going to create as whatever name. I'm going to create BBC. Okay. Okay. This is the database BBC, right? I just name it as the BBC school or something, right? Some institute. I we EST. I just use EST, right? So after that, the collection I'm going to create as the table name. Table name is I'm going to create this as employees. Employees a table name. You have to create yes employees, right? The plural. You have to type as a plural. The collection is that is a efficient way to create the collection plural employees, right? Okay, this database name EST, right? This is a database, this table name. Whatever database name you have, school management system or hospital management system, you have to create. Okay, right? Right. Now let's click create. Now here your database has been created, EST. Inside here, this is the structure. You can see here. Sorry, this one, employees. You can see the employees, right? So this is the structure you have created, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to now you have created the database, right? So and tables. This is table means the collections. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to install the another important thing is VS Code editor. This editor helpful to write the Node.js code. VS Code editor. You have to download and install the code. This is must. This editor is must. You have to work with the Node.js, right? So this must, right? You click and install your machine, right? After done the stuff, what you're going to do is I'm going to create the Node project, Node.js project I'm going to create. So I'm going to go to the E drive. So here I'm going to create the new project, Node new projects. I'm going to create the folder. Here now I'm going to create a new project of Node.js. So click on the address bar, type cmd. Here open up your command prompt. Here you type npm init, press enter key. It asks the package name. I just press enter key, version enter. This one, if you want, you can fill them. At the moment, I don't need them. This one I am going to enter this, right? Right. It will generate the package.json file, right? So you have to press yes. Right. You can see the package.json. Only the one file is created. Now you have to open them is VS Code editor. You have to type it again cmd code space dot. Your project will open up the VS Code editor. Look like this. Now here, trust for that. In package.json, you can see the file, the single file. Here only the node project, your version, all the things are there, right? Now here, node is a package management. Now here we have to install the Node.js server. The server means here the server is where communicate with the front end, right? Backend and front end. Backend in Node.js, there's an Express editor. Okay, in PHP, Laravel, PHP, and Java, Spring Boot, those are the framework. Here, this one should be the Express. That is the server you are running. Now let's go to the Google and type over here Express, npm Express. You type simply Express. It goes to the relevant npm model. Okay, it goes here. You have to find the link to install that. Right. First, you have to get the link over here. After you have experience, you just type npm I Express. I mean it stands for install. Okay, there are things. Click copy. Right. So how to import it? It will be telling how to import this package. Right. So let's back to my uh, project. This is my project, right? So now here I'm going to open the terminal. It's simple, very simple. If you open up the terminal over here, right? So here I'm going to type npm I Express. Okay, I have typed like this. You just copy and paste, it will be work. It's don't worry. Okay, then you will be able to see all the package need to be installed. Okay, all the node modules package need to be installed. You wait until the package get installed. Now you can see here node modules packages are installed successfully. All the packages are installed. Right, very simple. Right, after done the stuff, what you're going to do is you have to install another module that is a mongoose. Right, mongoose. So out in goes npm mongoose. Mongoose is the package. Here we have to communicate with the database. This also npm I mongoose. You just copy this one. You can see paste it over. This is also the terminal in uh, VS Code editor. Press enter. Now you have to wait until the mongoose package get installed. Okay, don't close anything in here. Okay, you have to wait until the process completed. Right, this all the packages completed, then only we will be able to work. Right, so don't skip or anything else. You just keep while the installation completed. Now my package, all the packages installed successfully. Right, my mongoose, right, package. So you have to go and check the package.json. Now you can see here the dependencies installed Express as well as mongoose. Both are installed. So you can check on the file. Just open the file on package.json and you can check whether it is installed or not. It installed successfully. You can get them inside the dependency. You will be see. Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to start this server. So here simply you can click this plus symbol, this icon. Now here I'm going to create the new page. This is server.js. here we have to implement the server. So we already we done the Express editor we have installed. First you have to type var, this is a data type. So Express equal required, you have to implement the namespace. Okay, like Java you have to write import Java, same thing you have to import the server over here Express, then only you have to express the server. Now here implement the server successfully. Now after that this server you have to call this var server equal Express, this we have to call it, then only it will work. Sorry, server Express, then it will work. Right, perfect. Now what I'm going to do is, what I'm going to do is, we have done this stuff. Now I'm going to set a port. What is the port the server is running on? So the server dot listen the port. You have to give any port. Now I'm going to run it 8000 port. What port you can give? Right, there's a port where your server is running. Right, that's the thing we have to do it again. Okay, now here we have to write like this. Now what I'm going to say, I'm going to check whether it is working or not. You have to create the function check error. You have to write this efficient way. This is the way you have to follow. Right, it's very simple. If error, if error, you have to write here console dot log error. Else, or the else part, right? If it is started, you just copy this one. Control C to copy, Control V. This one should be started. Right. Now here, this one, we have to call, this is not an efficient way to call this, whether the port is running or not. Just this function, what you have to call this inside this function, in this bracket, you just comma, this function, you have to control X to cut off and paste it over here. Okay, this is the way you have to follow. This is a very simple way. This is how we have to write the function. So this is how it will be work, right? Very simple. Right, now let's type how to check with this server, sorry, node server dot js. Right, the problem is this, we have to write, but we didn't call it, that's why it didn't write. Okay, so we have to call this one is here is, you have to write server, you have to call it over here server, server use express dot json. Right. Save all. Again you have to paste it here. Now here you can see that no problem, your server is started. The code's no problem, your server is started. Right, this is how we have to running the server. Okay, now the server is successfully running on your machine. Right, the Node.js server is running successfully in your machine if you write the command. Right, perfect. Right, after done the stuff, you have to call server use express JSON mean it will be running. If the port is okay, it will be running. Right, now after that, what you're going to do is you have to establish the database connection. So I already installed the Mongoose in my machine. After that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the variable var Mongoose. So write the variable Mongoose equal. Here also the same thing, you just copy and paste it instead of writing. Here also you have to change this one as a Mongoose. This library, Mongoose library, right? You have to call this, if it is any problem here, this is what is the name here, given the same name, you have to put it over here. Okay, avoiding the spelling mistake, like Mongoose. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do is here, the server, we have to get them to implement the namespace here, no problem. Okay, this we have implement the namespace. Now here we have write mongoose dot connect, we have to connect the server. So write it over here, it's connection, mongoose connection, you have to write here. Simply you have mongodb, you have mongodb, you have to write mongodb, you have to write slash localhost this connectivity. Simply you have to get the connectivity over here. When I connect the first time, you will be get the connection project. Okay, you have to connect here this one. Here this one. Simply you have to get this URL. Okay, right? This URL you can get. If you have any problem issue with this one, you can get the URL. Or like this. Your database name is what's the database I have created. This name you have to give. First name EST is a database name. EST is which is a database name. Right? That's it. That's the thing you have to write. After that, you have to close this one. Right? So after that, what you are going to do is here we have to do the thing is we have to check this this as well. So we have to write a function. So we have function here also function that function here also function check db error check db. This also you have to check it if error if error if it is error console this one is something you have to call it instead of writing call that right db error it's called error otherwise it is running this db sorry you have to run it here db connected right db connected perfect. Now what you are going to do is this is also the arrow function right this one's also we have to paste control x to cut off comma you have to paste here it's working right working. This is how you have to do the things. After that what you are going to do is another thing is this is mask right so you have to write right inside here you have to call the two things this is mask right so I'm going to go to my uh, project right so here this is the two things are must then only the project is running here this one use url pass then only the urls all the things are work without any problem right you have to pass this one right so here it open the bracket and close bracket here comma then only the error right so that's it. Okay this is simple stuff don't worry about this is also for I provided you will be able to run it right the simple one. Okay instead of writing you have to just copy and paste it. Okay the new user trial true topology true or make it. This is simple stuff. After done stuff, we'll check whether the our database connect is okay or not. Let's Control C to copy, Control C to stop the project, rerun it again. Node server JS. Right, started. What is the error? This error function is not defined. What is the error here? Right, the problem is over here. Here the other thing is here error we didn't do it here. What's the error? Then only it will work. The function I have written it's a blank function. Inside the function we have to type error. Then only this error is coming here. That's why it show there. Save all again. You have to type again. Now your DB is connected successfully. Your DB is connected successfully. I hope you guys you understood the things well. Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead after done the stuff. I'm going to go to create the new folder which is a routes. The routes manage all the URLs, right? So right click inside the routes folder. I'm going to create a file which is a routes.js, right? The file which manage all the URLs management, right? So okay. Now here also the routes file also what you are going to do is we have to the same thing you have to implement. The express server this namespace you have to implement it over here. After that we have to use this we have to write over here as the thing is we have to write first route but right here this one concept variable this is the way you follow that router equal express dot router. That's the thing you have to write express router. Here you have to write this router dot route. Here you have to mention the URL. Okay, if the URL is coming, dash, you have to write user, so user, you have to write get all. If the URL coming, what happen is you have to go to the get user controller. I haven't created this page yet. I'm going to create this page. Get data function. It's called the get data connect controller function. Controller F1 means function. That's it. It goes to that particular function to get the things, right? So this is the URL is coming, right? So let's go to the server and do the thing is here. Very simple. You have to do the stuff, right? So first you have to the server. We have to add the path of the route. We have your server is running. Your server is called the routes. So routes. Okay, the variable routes require. You have to write like this. Routes. Yeah, the routes. These are the for routes. Routes slash route. This what is the file routes. That's the thing you have to write. This is the path you have to give. Okay, the routes where this is you have to create the variable routes required your dot routes, yeah, inside the file routes, right? It's there. Okay, we go here. The server file is here. It goes inside this folder. And you have to go type like this. Now it's current directory. Slash mean you have to go inside the folder slash routes. Inside the routes, you have a file called routes.js. But because you have to outside the here this you are outside the server.js, outside the routes folder. If you access the routes folder, what you have to go to the path dot mean now you are in the current directory. This is the directory is a current directory. This is a dot slash. This is a slash. If you go inside the things slash means slash inside the things you have to go to access this file slash routes. This file you have to access. So you go to the path like this. Right. Perfect. That's stuff you have done it. Now you have to use this route as well. Okay, so how to use route as well. Here you have to using all the things, right? The route as well. So how to use the routes. Here also you have to write server. You have to tell them the server to call the routes. So use routes. These routes. So give the path. This path you have given over here. That's the thing. You have to do it here. Perfect. Let's save that. Right. Now everything you have completed. Now what you are going to do is here. Is there any URL issues? Right, that's something. The problem is the RESTful API access problem. You have to write this cross. You have to write constant cross because the URL API access they have the problem. Okay, the API access if you get the problem, you have to write in order to solve the problem. You have to import this. Right. Okay, import this one. So you have to write the Control C to copy, Control C to stop the server. You have this one. You have to type npm I right cross right it package is installed, right? Perfect. Okay, the RESTful API problem which is work without any problem. You have to use this are also you have to connect with the server dot use cross call the method. That's it. That's the thing you have to write. Perfect. Right, now all the things are working perfect. Now what you're going to do is go to the routes. You have to go to the get, or if you get the function it goes to this particular function. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the folders. Okay, so I'm going to put it to folder. So I'm going to type here, create the folder which is a you can type the src You have to create the folder src. Inside the src folder, you have to type the folder user. So this is the file structure you have to create. This is the efficient way to type the folder structure. So sorry, this is inside the routes. So we have to delete them. Not inside the routes. These are. You have to create the folder here outside the routes. src. Inside the src folder, we have a new folder called user. Inside the user folder, we have to create all the things, right? So user control, you have to try the file user controller.js. After this, another file you have created user service.js, right? So user. After that, you have to create another file which is a user model.js. Okay, all right. These files are important to create the Crud application system, right? Now what you're going to do is, now you've done the pages, right? This is a page. Okay, when the URL is coming, you can see this URL in the routes. When the URL is coming, it goes to the page which is a user controller. This is a user controller get action method. Okay, now let's go to the user controller. This is a user controller. You have visit the user controller, right? Now what you're going to do is, I am going to, instead of this writing, I just copy this one. Don't worry about it. I'll be explain it. I'm going to paste it over it. But if I write it, it take too much of time to complete. That's why I just paste it. You have to create a variable var get date get controller function. You have to write like this is function. This same function. Which function? This model function. Sorry. This route function. This same function. Sorry. This I have a spelling mistake. Same function. Control C to copy. I paste it over here. Right. The same function is coming over here. And here I'm going to type this one as a employee. This employees. Employee. Right, employee. To get the employee data. Paste it over here as well. Right. Okay. So you have to create a variable. So here var, this is your method. Okay. Here you have to write, if you have put avoid, you have to type this one assign. Okay. So here request and response. There's two parameters, request and response. Okay, get the request. This is a request you are getting from the URL, right? Okay, you get the response. So it, it can't get the response here. So here this function create the variable employee avoid. Okay, so here one task is complete, another task work. That's why you put avoid function. So here service, it pass the request to the service. Service is process which you communicate with the model, right? So here service has a function get data from the DB service, right? If the service, if the thing is coming, it will be get the response and sending back to the routes, right? So what you're going to do is, now we have to make the service page. You already service page, you have to make it. So this user service. Okay, so go to the service. What you're going to do is, now service page, right? Service page also the same model. I just copied, paste over here, right? Right, paste it over here. Now you can see it's a model. Here simply you import all the things, model export, then only it will be export to another class. Okay, so here to export, model export, get from DB service. So a new promise is the one which will be handling the all the requests, right? Promise, inside the promise we have to create a function, right? So we have to create the function. You have to check the function check. I gave this URL, right? Check URL. I create the function check URL. Check URL, it has two things, resolve and reject. If the result is success, resolve will be work. If the result is failure, reject will be work. In the promise will be handling all the URL stuff, right? It is handling the stuff, right? So here it's passing to it get the service. What is the service that it will be getting? Loading the data. So it passing the promise. Promise has a two function, resolve and reject, right? So it will be passing to the model. So user model find, you have to get all the data. So you have write the array look like this. So function return, we have created the two variables here, error and result, right? How to create this one I have already explained, right? Then if error, if it is error, it will be rejected false. If it is success, result will be there. It is success, it will be result will be passing to the front end, right? Now what you're going to do is we have a model. Go to the model, this is a user model. So user model, I'm going to create the schema of the database. You have to create a schema of the database, right? So schema, I'm going to create the model. So Control C to copy the same thing. I'm going to paste it over here. I'll be explaining. Don't worry about that, because if I take too much of time to complete the project, if it is if I'm going to create, okay, this is the employee. We have created the table. What is the name of the table you have created? Which name is employees. Here this table is the employees. EST employees. This is a table. This is schema. So employee table, we have some data. I'm going to create something. Name. I'm going to create name, address, phone. These are the address, phone. These are the things data we have to create. Okay, only the three data. Okay, I have created name, address, mobile, phone. This is simple data. We have created three data only. Okay, this is simple data we have to create. Right, these three columns are there. Let's save all. Right, let's save all. This is the thing. Right, ID will be auto generated. Okay, so here these are the columns you have created. So first you have to implement the mongoose. With mongoose, with schema, you have to create the schema. Mongoose has a library called schema. You have to create the variable user schema, new schema. You have to create these columns. Okay, columns name with the appropriate database. Right here we are not do any calculation part, so we can give as a string as a phone number. Right, so these are the schema we have created in the database table. Right. Okay, if you call this user schema, it will be created. Right, so let's save. Right, that's it. That first when the request is coming, how the process work, the URL is coming, user get out is go to the controller function, right? Controller get data. So go to the controller. So here we have to give the user service. So user service path we have to give. So how to give the user service path? Here this one. So it will be given over here. Okay, we give the path. Here it will be the get control is communicate with via here where the model service. So service path you have to give. Service communicate via model. So model is path also we have to give. Okay, so how to give the path model? Sorry, service this one the model. Can give the model path as well. User model. Model is the path communicate the database, right? So this is the path you are given. Route also we have to given the uh, route also we have given this one. This the controller path we have to give as well. The controller path. So the route is on you. It will be communicate with the data routes, because two folders here. You are inside this folder. Two dot mean here. You are inside users. User is inside the src folder. So you have to go double slash src user. It's a folder name. After the access. That's how the URL works. The route here coming here. First you have to access double slash src. Double slash means go outside the folder, and src user controller. Then only we access the route to this file. This file we access into the user file dot. This is a current directory slash me. This goes to the service. The service will be access the model. Current directory is dot slash model. It will be access the model. This is how the URL will be made. Very simple. Now you have an idea. If the URL is coming user slash get all, it goes to the controller, user controller, and user controller will be passing the request to service. Service is the process which will be communicate with the database, and we will be get the data. If the data has come successfully, it will resolve. if there is any problem, it will be rejected, right? It passing to the uh, output to the routes, right? We successfully complete the get all part. So now I'm going to go to create the data. So I'm going to create the this URL, right? So let's just copy and paste it. Otherwise, it will take too much of time to complete this project, right? So I'm going to paste it over here. Now you can understand. I'll be explained here. If the URL is coming, this is a route. We have to get it and call it here. There's a property called route. Outright this one I explain it. The same thing you have tried over here, right? If when the URL is coming slash user create, this is a post. This is the get the data. We have to get method using the get method. If it is a post data, if you have using the post method, right? User controller, create user controller FN, right? This is the method you have to create, right? Create use. This is the function which will be create the records, right? After that, what you are going to do is after that, if you get the data, create controller function, right? After that, what you are going to do is it scores the user controller when the request is coming. When the UI, when you type the URL, look like this. Okay, so it is goes to the user controller create action method. So you go to the user controller. You have to create the separate method. Uh, what's the method you have to create? Create user controller. So here I have already created that. So I'll be copy and paste. Then only will be able to understand that, right? So I just copy paste. Right. Paste it over here. Right. Paste it over here. Now let's this one. I no need then. Right now here you can check here when the request is create user controller fn. Fn mean function. We shortly have type fn assigning assign task. So here you request and response you write to functions. So here we have to write this one as a we have to write this one also. We no need that, right? Let's get rid of these lines, right? Now you can see here when the request is coming, this is the function, right? Create user fn, this function it request is coming. This is the passing to the user service to create the records, right? The when the it is passing the user service to create the request. The request body stated is coming successfully, user created, otherwise here error create the user, right? So let's go to here. We already create the one here as uh, get the data. Now you have to create the data, add the data into the database. So I have created code here as well. This one, get the data, remove the data, create the data. Paste it over here. This one I'm going to, we don't need the, we have to change the fields and all. We change the fields and all. The user model is a model. We are calling the user model to get the data into the database, right? Schema. So here we have to first, what is the fields we have? What is the schema? We have to check the schema. Name, address. So you have to write over here the service name. Sorry, address, phone. This line we get rid of this line. But pass it this here. Name, address, phone. That's it. Right. Now this is service. Okay, so here the service also we have to get the service also same thing. This is the function in the service, user details. So you have to create here the promise. I already explained what is the purpose you have created the promise. Promise is the one who manage the request. Okay, there is inside the promise there is the two functions we have created: resolve and reject. If the request is successfully, it is resolved. If it is a failure, it's rejected. Right? It passing two functions. Right? So here we have to set the data. Okay, these are the fields, right? Name and address, phone number. Okay, so it will be this one created in database. So if it is correct, the details, right? The details. The details. If it is correct, so here, use a save. Here there will be the save function. handling error requests. If there's any problem, it will be rejected. If the result is success, it is the result. That's the thing it will be doing. That's perfect. That's the thing we have done it in the service, right? Perfect. Now let's go. Here we done two things, right? So here, what you are going to do is here I have to export it. Service no need there. Right. So let's go to our project. This my project is the controller project. It's a controller. Right. So here I have to export them. This one I will explain it, get function and create function. Right. We have to export it. Okay. So we have create the function, this particular two function. We have to export the outside. We have to write model exports. We have to put it this way. Then only we will use this function. It's outside. Okay. No. Right. So that export. Here service also we have to write this. We already written like this. Okay. If you want, you can write like this. Okay. If you create the function and finally you have to get output it. Right. That's simple. Right. You have to do likewise. Right. So you have to do like this way or that way. Okay, both are nice. So if you want to write like this, well, this also works. Okay, you have to write var, the same thing like here as well. Var, you have to write like this. Okay, perfect. Here you have to create the arrow function over here, right? Now let's check whether it's working fine or not. Right now, let's save all. This project we save all. Now let's open the Postman. Postman is the we have to check the request whether it's working fine or not. Now let's see how to run the server. You have idea. Okay, what server? Sorry, not server dot js. This is a file you have to run it and check the request. While running the project, I have got the error as dot user service because I have given here as user controllers user service, but this is not a service. Yes, service only have given. That was the error. Spelling mistake here. The page you have created user service here user services. Right. Again you have going to run it. Right. The error display, what is the thing is model I haven't exported. That's why here the export, then only it will be work. Right here, other pages you can here export, models also export, the schema, the models, the schema also export, service also export. You have to write the exports, right? So that's why the problem. You have to now you can write here. Now it's started DB connected. Now let's check the URL, right? So let's go to the URL. So what is a port? This is the port you're checking. Localhost HTTP localhost. This is a port you're checking, right? So this is the port, right? So HTTP, this localhost, right? This you have to type localhost. So go to the Postman. You have to type localhost. What is the port? You have to type the port. Port. I'm going to check it. What's the port? This is a port. What is the port you are doing the server? 800 port. You have type on the post method. This one should be the post method. I'm going to insert the record, right? Post. Right. So what is the URL? Now you have to type the URL. What is the URL you're going to type? I am going to type the URL as first. I am going to insert the record. So create, right? So here I write body row. So type like this. Right? You type the URL like this. The post URL, right? You write this post URL also here. What's the URL you're going to type? So name. This one should be the address, mobile. Add some value, address, India, mobile number. You have to write like this, something like that. Okay, click send button. The here the problem that get the response. What's the problem? There's a problem with the URL or something here. Check routes create here. There's a problem, URL problem here. Model data, it's saying there. You go what's the page and 29. So use the model name, use the details name. So you go and check user detail is not defined. So you go to the model, user controller. Okay, these details you can check here. That's the error. Here the details there's a problem. It's a spelling mistake, right? So let's save all. Okay, you have to write like this. Okay, then only if you get any error, you will be able to solve up. Right now, let's again check it. Now again, if you get the request, again we get a problem. Couldn't respond. Again, get the problem. What the problem it is? The problem is this. Here my models here phone here written is a mobile. That's the problem. That's it. Again, I'm going to run the project. That's why it won't work. It's working. Now that's the problem. Now here user created. Right. Now let's back to my database and check it. This is my database. I'm going to refresh it. Here it's working. Now if you are going to add the record, uh, Peter John Gmail, phone number this one. Click user created. Back to my database and check it. It's working. Now it's working perfectly well. Now if you have to get the data, so how to use the URL? What the URL you have to use? You can find it or the this is the URL. Back it here, post it over here. At this time not a post method, it's a get method. It's a get request. So here none. Click send. It's working. Okay, it's working perfectly well. It's working perfectly well. Right. Thank you for watching. I'll be getting in touch with in my Node.js Angular Part 2 tutorial. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Tutors Funny channel. This is a part 2 video of Node.js, Mongodb and Angular. So here in our last class we saw the get all function and create, right? How to add the record and view the records. In this class I'm going to talk about the update part. So what I'm going to do is, so let's get this URL. I'm going to explain, don't worry. If I write this one, take too much of time to complete. So here, third one, this one, you have to go. You type routes, route. So this is the route object you are getting. There is a predefined function on the route. So here you have to write like this. Here, I already show you this. Here route, the predefined function is route. So here you have to call the path. If the URL is coming like this, when the URL is coming like this here, when the URL is coming like this, here you can notice that when you get the records, when you view the records, there is a function which is a get. Okay, when you post the values to the database, when you type the form, when you fill the form and click submit button, the value is posting to the database. So this is a posting method. This is retrieving the data from the database. This is the posting the value to the database. After that, there is another function which is a fetch. Fetch we use to update the record. Okay, so you have a records. Okay, you have a records in the database. You have to make the changes and click save again. So the record should be updated, not recreate the record. The existing record need to be updated. So we have to write the method which is a patch. Node.js, they have the methods get, post, and patch, right? So the CRUD operation, there's a different method, right? Get, post, and patch. Okay, easily understand. So how to check user update ID? ID mean you have a record on the database. Okay, so when you update the particular record, you update the record via the ID, because ID is a unique. So that we have get the ID and update the employee records, right? So here this patch user controller, this is a controller, there's a update. So I will be telling the flow, how the flow works. First you have to go to the controller. Controller will be passing the record to service. Okay, this is a route passing the record. This is, you see the URL coming like this. This is a route.js. It passing the controller pass to the service pass to the model is the part where communicate with the MongoDB database and update the records into the database table, right? That's a flow, working flow. Now we have created the function update user controller in our controller class. So here I'm going to create the controller. Go to the Node.js. Here you have to type the controller. There's a function update, right? So you have to, I'll be explain, don't worry. So create this one here, whereas update. Paste it over here, right? Now you can see here, this is a function. When the URL is coming, user control update, it goes to the controller class update function. You can see the assign task, require, it pass two variables, request and response. You get the request and send the response. Now you get the request. Is what is the request you are getting? You are getting the request, this request. This URL. So when the request is coming, it passes the controller. Now here in the controller will be get the request. Here the record is get the request. Okay, the get the request, passing the request param ID mean you get the ID, particular ID over here. You have to check the console where the console ID is successfully display on. And request body means all the records we are checking like this, right? You have to put the request body and request param. You will be check the ID whether ID is passing correct or not, right? After that, you have to what you have to create the variable result. You have to put the avoid you have to put it here. You have to write assign, right? This method. So here control will be passing via, okay, the flow, how the flow control is, the when the request is coming, it passing to the request to the which service there is a function here. We have to create update one user. Okay, update one, you can create whatever name. I have created update one, update user service. I create update user service, right? Update user service. Here request param ID, here this ID param, you get the ID, get request, you write the params dot id and request body, right? When you update the record, there is a body. Okay, if your first name, last name, your name, address, phone number, there is a body. Okay, ID means the particular ID. Okay, the name, address, phone number, that one person details. So that person requires relevant ID, it passing to this param. Okay, when you update the record, you get the particular person's ID and update. Okay, because why I getting the ID mean ID should be unique, so that we have get the ID, particular ID, and update the records into the database. That's how the service works. Now here this result, if you have to check here, if result, okay, now here I'm going to this one. Before that, this is a request you are sending. Okay, whether it's request sending via user service. So user service, you have to check it here. You have to create here this one user service. You are starting here. You have to create it here as user service. There's an update method, update function here. Paste it, copy it. I'm going to go to the just paste it over, right? Here it passing the request to update user. This is the function I have written there, right? Update user, right? So here when we ask that controller. This controller, you click on this, it's come to the update update user, get the particular id and body details. So here it will be passing here request parameters id and body mean the details, it passing to a to this array. Okay, when the request is coming here, and after that you can check whether request is coming or not. You can console.log employee user details, you can check it here. User details, you can read user details, you can check it here, user details, right? Okay, after that you can see the new promise in service. We have created the promise, which is a function which will be handling the urls. We handling the request and response urls. So here when the request is success, it will be passing to the resource. Resolve will be work. If the request is failure, reject. There should be two functions, resolve and reject in the promise. When you create the file promise, if the result is succeed, resolve will be work. If the result is failure, reject will be work. So it will be communicated with via user model. User model, find ID and update. There is a predefined method here. Okay, find, okay, ID and update. The predefined method. Find ID and update. Right? The find ID update. The predefined method. Okay, in user model, right? Find id update, right? This is the predefined method, right? In Node.js, id user details. So this id and user is we're passing here. Function return data, error result. You have to write like this, error result. So here you have to write if error, you have to code this one, this error. If it is error, it will be reject false. If it is, here we have to pass the, if it is resolved, when the request is correct, it is resolved, result will be work. Okay, if it is working, this one will be communicate via the models. Models via models mean this is the model, the user schema. This is the model. We are the this is the model. We are communicate with the database and update the record into the table. Right. This is how the formula works. Right. Very simple. Right now, what I'm going to do is here. I'm going to go to save all things we are save all. Now let's select here server, sorry, here node server .js. Now we will be running the server first. What was there? Right, the problem is here. Right, correct. If there is any error here, this one we didn't export it. That's why here we create the function, but we didn't export it. That's why the error came. Okay, that's it. We understand the error. Okay, here it's simply when you get the error, the no person will be here. Route patch require the callback function mean you have create the function, particular function, but you haven't export it. That's why the function, this error will be coming, right? So let's save. Again, I'm going to go to the service.js page. Here also details, user details also I'm going to error. Here I'm going to wrong this one also. Right, user details also I wrote it wrong. So save all. Now again run the project server. Now it started DB connected. Now let's go to the open the Postman. Now here, this is the update part, right? So here, this is the how to write the update. You can write like this. Yeah, I'll be showing you how to write. Where's my notepad? Not this. Right, now here you can see what is the URL, the route. Right, now here you can see here. This is a route. Say route. This is when the URL type user type URL like this. The same URL. Go here. Here you can see here this update. So you can see update. This is the ID. Okay, this is the ID, right? You can see here user update particular ID. ID I have get it here. You can simply user update is the port where it will be running. Method you have to select as patch over here. ID user ID. Your get a, your wait, let's get out. We'll check get out function how the function is work. Not patch get all the employee IDs over here. You can see here. Now here this repeated is I'm going to update. So get the ID and update. So how to copy this ID? User, what is the function? You're right. Update slash particular ID. This one you have to change it as address. This is the phone number. Now what I'm going to do is here I'm going to this field name you have to change this name, right? So I'm going to update this particular ID. This is Peter. I'm going to try type Peter and email address and phone number like this. Click send button. Sorry, you have to send patch at this time. Updated successfully. Now let's check here. Get all. Send request. Not like the get. You make sure the appropriate request. Okay, get and post. Okay. Here, Peter and all things are successfully changed. Right. Perfect. It's working perfect. Now let's go to the update part, delete part. So how the routes work the delete. Okay. Now let's the same thing. Here do it as a delete as well. Go back to my routes. The remove the same function, the same like this. Paste over here. Right. Now here, when the request is coming, route, when the request is coming, user remove, it goes, they are here, a different function. When you get the records, calling the get request, when you post the, when you create the record, post request, update the record, patch request, delete the record, delete request. Okay, here it will be changed. Very simply, Node.js, they are implemented these functions. Okay, get, post, patch, and delete. They implement a different function for each operation, right? So user control, we have to create the method delete user. So how to create? Go to the user control. We have to create the method which is a delete. So let's I go to here and copy this one. Right now here, how to write this one is here. You can see here var delete user. This is the function we have to create here. Request and response. We will get the request from where server request. We will get the server request and your console log. You can check whether the request coming or not. Here you can see here, right? So here you can check var request avoid. So this is an update one. This record we have to update like this. So same thing here. We have to do the console log over here. When you delete the record, you get the particular ID. If you going to delete the record as John, get him the ID and get delete all the rows. So that's the same thing you have to do. You have to get the ID. So get as a param here. Yeah, var result you have to get the variable. You have to put the avoid. You have to get this one, right? So user service you have to create the function remove user db request param get the ID. So now what I'm going to so process go to the service. We have to create the user delete function. So go to the delete user delete function. So here you have to delete. Back over here. Paste it over here. Right. So here you can see here the one more thing I forgot it. If you implement this function, you have to copy this and below here model export, comma, you have to paste it. Then only it will work. Right. So after that you have to get the remove. Come to the remove user function. So remove function. Here get the ID. Get the particular ID. You're sending the ID through this controller. You're sending the ID here. This sending this ID param. Here this function it's coming the ID by the ID. So this if you implement this here, you can see the update there will be two parameters will be passed, ID and body. Here only ID will be coming. Here receiving the ID. Here you can see here the update one, ID and body, the two things are coming and put in the argument. So here ID will be coming, so it will be passing to the promise here, resolve and reject function. It through it there will be the, if you delete the record in user model in MongoDB, here they are defined find and delete this function in Node.js. So here this function what does is delete the record from the database. So ID, get the ID function here, it will be argument you have set it as error and request. Okay, so if it is error, it will be reject the request. If it is result, it will be resolve. Resolve means if the request is succeed, it will resolve will be work. It's any database problem, any error display, it will be rejected will be a, it's communicate with the models. Okay, models apart, we are communicate with the database, right? So the model I will be explaining here. This is schema, right? So how to pass a request, now you have idea. Route will passing the request to controller. Controller will be passing the request to where service. Service the process we are done the operation, right? Service in the done the operation. So where the model, and it's back to the result. Right now we done the delete part. Now let's save all. Now go to the, my server is already running here. No need to execute the server again. Here we have to delete request. You have to method delete. So you try how to delete, use a delete. When the request is delete slash, I'm going to delete this and Peter's records. Paste over here. Okay, now you have to not body, you have to send it. You have to none it. Click send. What the can't delete user. What is the error here? Sorry, not here. It's open up here. It's not, sorry, not delete. Here request it, not delete. Here remove. You have set as remove. Right, not delete. You have to, if you want, you can check it here. Delete as well. It's working. When the result is coming, delete. Now you can save all. Now the delete will be work. Okay, I have put in the delete. But it's not working. Delete user, delete the particular ID. Back to my terminal again, Node.js terminal. Again, I'm going to run the server. If there's a problem with the server, while the problem here, now if you are the ID is okay, the record has been deleted. Now again, I'm going to send it right here. Delete record is deleted. Record has been deleted. Right. So if you want to check another delete part, so here I'm going to type. You can see get all function. Okay, that record is deleted. I want to delete this record here. Copy it. So here, go to the first required method, delete, use a delete flash the respective ID, send it, use a delete. Now you have to get all function, get it. Nothing will be there. All things are removed. Right? Perfect. It's working perfect. This is how we have done the front end for. Right? In my next video tutorial, I'm going to teach about the backend part we already done. Now I have completed the backend part. I'm going to uh, connect with the front end part. So we are using the Vue.js. So here, click select the address bar, type cmd command, open up your command prompt. Here you have to type the Vue CLI. First you have to use the Vue CLI. This is the command. npm install G stands for generate Vue CLI. So I just copy this one, Control C, copy, paste it over here, press enter. By press enter key, your Vue CLI is being installed. You can see here now here it started to install in your machine. You wait until the process completed. Now I'm going to create the my app, new app. So I'm going to using this command view init webpack your application name. This is I have given it's a front end. So you have to write view init webpack front end. I just copy this command, Control C copy, paste it over here. By press enter key. Now your all the template, all things are installed. Okay, project name I leave as it is. You, if you want, you can give the project name. Project description, if you want, you can give. Otherwise, leave as it is. Author also leave it as it is. As it is. So here, install the view router. Yes, yes. Standard yes. Test yes. You have to select the second option. Karma. This one yes. Yes. Why yes. Here you must select as npm. Use npm. Press it. Now your project dependencies get installing. You have to wait until the dependency installation completed. Vue.js installation has been completed successfully. You have to open up the app. You can using cd. So you have to go inside the folder. cd. You have to type by cd front. Press enter key. Now you have to type npm run dev. If you type by this command, it is open up your app. Okay, you can see the welcome page of Vue.js. Okay, this is the port which will be connecting to produce the welcome page. Now you can see here. Okay, this is the welcome page. You have welcome page. You have to see, right? Now here, now what I'm going to do is my front end. This is my front end, backend. I need to run my backend. So here, go here, CMD. If you are not running, you can run on your backend. Okay, not what is server.js. How to run it? Server.js. This is the main file. Okay, now you have to wait until the DB need to be started with the port need to be started at the same time. The DB also connected. Both are connected successfully. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do is I back to my front end. Here you open up in your VS Code editor. You have to type CMD code space dot. It will be open up your VS Code editor. Yes, this is the folder structure of Vue.js. Here index.html, it consists of app. It's calling the src app.vue.js. This is the main file. You will be able to see the output here. Now here I no need the logo. I no need the design, the styling, all things I had. I'm going to remove it. Right. Further, I'm doing. This is the main file. Now what I'm going to do is inside the component folder, I'm going to create a new component. Okay, React, you have to make the component folder. Here already make it. You need to create the file only. Go here. Here the employee correct dot view. This extension will be view. Okay, view. Right. Now here the single file. So here the same design. Copy and paste it over here. Here what I did here is the route. This all things we don't need them. Routes. Okay, this all things here we leave. Okay. So simple stuff. The template. What the meaning by template is here you have to place the HTML code. The script we have placed into the JavaScript code. Okay, that is the two different things in Vue.js. Very simple, right? In React, we saw inside the return we have to write the HTML code. The function you have to write the JavaScript. The same thing here as well. Okay, very little bit different, right? Now, what I'm going to do is the simple design you have to understand. So I I already done the design. So I just copy and paste it. I will be explaining. If I design this one step by it take 3 hours, more than 3 hours time to complete this project, right? So here simple design you can see here template is starting and template is closing, right? So here you can see here this simple bootstrap design div. Here start the employee registration heading. After that we have to create the form tag, right? The form tag, form is started, here form is closing, right? Now what I'm going to do is you can see here we have a 3 fields. ID should be auto increment. This is three fields. First is the employee name, input text v model. Okay, this one I will be explaining it in few minutes. This one class control is a bootstrap you have to attach. Bootstrap, I have to add the Bootstrap style. So let's add the Bootstrap style. So go to the Bootstrap respective website. So type on here Bootstrap. Click on this. Click here this style, CSS style. Back to your design. Here go to the index.html. Paste inside the tag. That's the thing. That's the only thing you have to do. Otherwise, you can install the. This is the way you have to do it. Otherwise, you have to download npm install Bootstrap and all your Bootstrap plugin into Node modules folder. After that, you can give the link. Okay. Otherwise, you just copy and paste inside the HTML index.html file. This is a single page application. Here, all the things are loaded. Right. If you attach it would be work. Right. Now here form controller placeholder employee name, right? After that we have created another field which is a employee address. After we have created another field which is a mobile. So we have a three fields. We have created three fields. Those are employee name, address, and mobile. After that we have a one button which is a submit button, type which is a submit. Okay, so here button type is Bootstrap type primary, save button. This is a simple form design. Okay, I have created a simple form design, right? After that, you can see here the simple table design we have created. This is all the things a Bootstrap table, right? So table adding, table view. This is a Bootstrap style table dark. Here, these are the heading of the heading. Okay, ID, employee name, address, mobile option, right? After that, inside the T body, the record would be showing to the table inside the T body. So the T body we have write like this: V4. This is a for loop. Employee in result. V bind key ID. So here have write all the things: employee ID, employee name, address, and phone. Here you have to write the. We have a two different button: edit and remove button, delete button. Okay, right. The simple form. Right. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is we have a script started, scripts closed. So here first what I'm going to do is we have to add the record. So we have created a simple form. Okay, we have created a simple form. Click save button, right? So we have a save method. Save method we have created in this example. Edit and save both are do by one button, which is a submit button. The two operation we are done by one button. Okay, one button, right? I've already showed the example before. Okay, right? So what I did here is that's why we have make complete save button here. We both here save data and update data. We have created two different functions. Save data. We already checked this API in our Node.js. We checked through this API in our Node.js. How the API works. We already checked through the Postman as well. Okay, when the request is coming from this, it will be create the request. Add the data into the database. Okay, so what I did here is you can see here. This is your JavaScript. Okay, this is your name of the employee Crud. You guess the name. Here, what I did here is data return. Here also return there. Okay, in same thing React. Result here where we have to load the data table. Here we have to create the array, simple array. You can employee ID, name, address, and phone number. We have to create the simple array. You can see the simple array. Okay, the ID you have to create like this. Okay, simple array we have to create. Right. So what I did here is you can see why I put ID like this is like this way is Mongodb its ID auto-generated like coming like this. Okay, if it is your database, this will be MongoDB, right? Name, address, phone number. Okay. So after that we have to create. We have a created method and mount method. After that we have to create the methods. Inside the method, we have to do all the operation inside the methods. Okay, methods. First, what I'm going to do is we have to save data. Save data. This is the URL. What are the data should be stored? This employee means this completely is go here. Okay, so what I did here is if here now I'll be explain the two-way model. When you type the form, when you type the when you type the employee name, address, and phone number, this all the record should be saved this model, V model. So this is a two-way binding. Okay, and give to here this variable. This all the values are stored here, right? When you call this employee variable, sorry, employee array, this dot employee array, this all the data is what is the data you're typing. It is stored this array and it will be go along with this URL and save into your database. That's how the API works. Okay, if the data is coming successfully, then you have to write saved, employee saved, employee saved. Right. After that, after save the employee, we have to load the table. What you're going to do is we have an employee load method. Okay, so how to load the table? This all the RESTful API I already shown. We tested through the Postman, it's working perfectly well. Okay, I no need to again I go back to Nodejs and I don't need to explain again. Okay, you have an idea. The same API I have put it here. I have created the variable page. The same API I have attached here. The exhausted, which is the RESTful API purpose, we have to get it here. Get page. This get all the data. We fetch the data from the database and pass it to the page variable. This page variable you have to get this get method, right? You have to load the data. You have to get the data. It will be load the data and pass into the table. It goes which table? This is the employee table. We are passing, right? Here employee table we are passing. What are the fields there? You have to put it here. ID, name, address, and phone number. These are the database fields, right? We are set it here, right? After that, we have right. We have two different button, edit and remove. Two buttons are there. Here, two buttons. Sorry, edit and delete. We have a two different click function, edit function and remove function. Edit function, if you have clicked completely this component, we have to load and paste. If you click this button, edit button, it goes to the edit function, get all the record, it pass into this employee. If you pass this like, it will be passing to do this all the fields. Okay, when you click edit button for editable purpose. After that, if you make the changes, right? If you make the changes, again you have to click the update button. Okay, if the IDs exist, it is record should be updated. If the ID is blank, record should be created, right? So if you click edit button, ID is displayed, right? So the ID is coming. So this time edit the purpose. So we have to create the variable var edit records. Go to this respective API. This API I already explained. Along with the ID, employee ID, it goes to the patch method. Okay, in front end there are different methods. Okay, front end, but back end, what are the methods you have created? When you create the records, post method. When you get the record, get method. When you edit the record, patch method. When you delete the record, delete method. The same like that. Here you can associate patch, which is a, if you editable purpose, you have to use patch method. Okay, this edit variable you call it here along with the ID. This is the edit complete record here. After edit the record, you have to clear all the fields and record has been alert message has been displayed as employee updated and the table load, right? After that, when you delete the record, it goes to the delete method. So it's coming here, get all the record information here, employee. So here get the ID. This component we have get the ID. Employee component, all the fields are there. Employee name, employee address, employee phone number. We need ID to remove the entire field because ID should be the primary key. So we get the ID and remove entire row. So here this is we are calling the delete API and employee dot ID mean delete all the record into the database. After that, load the table. This simple stuff we have to delete. Very simple. Okay, we have create the array list. After that, we have to create the create method mount. Here you have to create this. We have tested purpose. You have to write like this. After that, we have to write the method. A simple method. So method you have to write and do the operations. Right. This all the source code provide. Don't worry about it. After that, we have to create the routes. Routes. Here, when the request is coming, this is the home page. You have request us to hello world. So I am going to link it this one, employee, correct. So I am going to paste it over here. This one, get a copy of this one. This one should be employee, correct. You write employee, correct. Is copied and paste it over here. Here also paste it. Here also paste it when the request is come. This one we just get rid of these lines. Right. That's it. Okay. Right. Perfect. When the request is coming, it will load up. Right. Now let's save our. Now let's save our. Now let's run the application. Check. Okay. This is a front end. We already running. My front end is running here. It's running. Right. The problem is here. What the thing is, we haven't installed the RESTful APIs. XOCS, this the things is we have not installed the some plugins. Mostly one plugin I am installing. That's it. Here we have to install. Go to the front end. This is a front end. Okay, front end. Okay, front end. Yes, front end. This is a front end. Here I go. RESTful API plugin not to install. npm ax ios. This plugin we already. What the error should be? This is the API. This is the API request. This is must. We didn't upload the install the npm package. Okay, this npm package only we need. The bootstrap package we didn't install. Only the package you have to install the npm package in Vue.js. In this example, AXIOS. This should be connected with the RESTful API. Front end and back end, if you have to connect, you must install this dependency. This is a must. Okay. Okay, if you have typed this one, go inside this front end and open up the CMD. You have to type npm ax. Now it's installed successfully. Right? Now it installed successfully. Now you can see the result. It's working perfectly well. Now if you want to add the record as Raja India mobile number, click save. Record saved successfully. You can see here. If you want to edit the record, click the edit button. Change the records. Here it's changing. Click save button. This time updated. Here you can update the record will be updated. If you click delete, record has been deleted. I hope you guys you understood the things well. I'll be sharing it my source code in my website. Thank you for watching.